So, a little history. My next guest was once an intern that I mentored, and he claims I was kind of tough on him, but always encouraging. And that's fair, because I saw something special in him. Joining me now is that now grown-up man, Toan Lam, who went on to work in TV news before trying to create a new role for himself, the provider of positive stories, which when we had him on, we had him to talk about that on our show before. And now he wants to do it in a talk show format, so welcome back.
Thank you, Robert. Full circle moment. It's like,
right.
I was trying to count. It's like, I'm Asian, but I'm bad at math. It's like 23 years ago.
Something like that, yeah.
And they say Asian don't raisin. Can I say that here? Asian don't raisin. You got to give me your tips.
Oh, well, if you get your own show, then I'll be sure to mentor you there as well. Hey, for people who don't know you, because you're gonna, if you want to do a talk show, you know, it's about you as well as your guests. Talk a little bit about your life and sort of how that led you to this.
I think that was the hardest transition because in news you tell one side of the story and the other side, and you just leave yourself out. But as a kid growing up in South Sacramento, I never thought that my story mattered as much. And until you and the people at the Asian American Journalists Association took notice, I was like, whoa. Maybe my story does matter, and thank you for believing in me. I have to say that first and foremost.
Sure.
But my family and I immigrated from Vietnam. I was only 8 months old, and we grew up in South Sac and grew up in a little town there. It was a little town back then, not anymore. But essentially, there's 10 of us to a trailer in a trailer park, and my parents came with $4 in their pockets. So it's the typical, you know, like Asian American dream story.
Right.
But I realized quickly that my Asian American dream wasn't my parents' dream for me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a lot of Asians, especially ones who want to do something different than traditional careers, kind of find that out. Okay, so you went from TV news and started to try to do this thing, which I remember you and I talking about at the time. What do you want your talk show to be then about, or what is sort of the perspective?
Yeah, well, you know, nowadays I feel like every time you turn on the news, there's bad news, right? And I've had a lot of conversations with people about life's zigs, zags, ups and downs. But then when they are at parties or, you know, talking to each other, everybody's so afraid to talk about it. So essentially I say we are trying to inspire people to just join our conversation and the magic of conversation to where it lifts your spirits and shifts your perspectives on life's challenges. So when you Google the people that we interview, it seems like, oh my God, they're amazing, which they are. And it seems like, oh, there was no zigzag to get up there. But they talk about being knocked down to the ground and picking themselves back up and taking one step in front of the other. And
sounds like a familiar perspective there.
yes, you know I've been through a lot.
Yes. Now, you did some pilots already. Yes. You shot some pilot shows already. Yes. How did those go? And what did you kind of learn from doing that?
Oh, I learned a lot. Yeah. So we shot a pilot recently at the Toto Washlet, which is interesting because Toto Washlet is the luxury toilet bidet company. And they have a beautiful set studio in San Francisco. And so I learned a lot. I mean, we interviewed 3 people. There are a few topics. One of them was Benny Liu, who created Neck Shark, which you should actually have him on. He is the creator of this platform that has I guess it's a publication for Asian Americans and global Asians.
Well, you want to do these positive stories, but I know that knowing you, the word inspire is like very important to you. You don't want to just tell these positive stories. What is it that you're hoping will come out of it when people are watching?
Well, I hope that you just know, those of you at home that are watching, that you're not alone in whatever you're going through and that there's hope. So we talked to a dating coach. We talked to somebody, Benny Liu, who started Neck Shark, which is his own American dream to share Asian American stories. So I just hope that in seeing these people's challenges that you know that, you know, there is hope and, you know, you too can live your dream.
Now, so you're living your dream doing this. How's it going in terms of on the business side? Are you finding a distributor? Are you finding somebody to take on your show?
Yeah, we're excited to say that looks like we have locked down a distributor, but we just can't talk about it yet. It looks like Q1 of next year.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. What kind of perspective? Is it national?
Global.
Global?
Yeah,
oh, that's
so everything's moving on interweb and the interwebs and streaming, the wild, wild web, if you will.
Yeah. Really quickly then, as a global perspective, does that change in terms of how you're going to do your show? Because that's a different kind of audience than now.
Well, yeah, you know what? I believe, well, I hope it is interactive, that people will reach out with us through social media. We hope to delve into some, you know, interesting topics that are just global. You know, I think love, chasing your dreams, things that really resonate with you, no matter what color your skin or what gender you are.
I think you're capable of inspiring on a global basis.
That means a lot coming from you.
You come back and tell us how the show's going, okay?
Yes. Thank you so much, Robert.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
All right. Proud of you. All right, to get more information, you can follow Toan on social media at Toan Lam Show. Easy to remember, right? Toan Lam Show.